Look at how high they're going. They're going above 40,000 feet. When storms are above 30,000 feet, think about it. That's above Mount Everest. That's where it can support hail. So we're keeping an eye on the warm front. That is blasting in some really high dew points over 70 degrees. That's making the atmosphere super unstable. So that's why we have to be weather aware for today. And this isn't the big story. We're looking at a chance for a few spotty showers here and there. Those look to remain to the south of us. So I'm not worried about that. I'm moving on to our next weather highlighter. The first day of March could be in like a lion. We're seeing rain change over to snow, and it's all about the path of this low pressure system that's going to control our forecast. Right now, Jose's blocking us. That's why it's going to be cloudier over the next couple of days. But Maria, another Category 5 hurricane to add on to the list, and this one is going to go down in history in Puerto Rico as a name they likely will never forget. Here's the worst case scenario. If the thunderstorm starts to rotate, it's officially called a supercell, where gusty winds, large hail, and heavy rain are likely, and there's a 30% chance that tornadoes are occurring.
Let's get right to it, Chris.
On Flint's east side, now have reports of downed trees, multiple trees down. Also, quarter to even an inch-and-a-half size hail the way that it looks of it. So we're seeing some significant size, some severe size hail, not something you want to be walking around in, not something you want to be driving around in. JR's up with more, but these storms will continue to churn off towards the southeast. Again, you're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning across Genesee County.
And thanks for your pictures. Keep them coming.
Every year, the U.S. averages over 5,000 dangerous hail events, causing over $1 billion in damage to crops and property. Hail doesn't fall in every thunderstorm, but the taller and stronger they become, the more likely hail is. Here's how it forms.
In the mid-levels of a thunderstorm, there's a freezing line. Water droplets rise above this line, freeze, then fall and rise, much like lottery balls in a tumbler. This process is supported by the updrafts, which are the vertical driving forces that strengthen a thunderstorm. The stronger the updrafts are, the larger the hailstone will be. The growth process is shown if you were to cut a hailstone in half. The more concentric rings you see shows how many times the hailstone has ridden the updrafts above the freezing line. It looks much like the inside of an onion or the trunk of a tree. Once the hailstone is too large to be supported by the updrafts, it falls.
Hail is most common in the plain states due to higher elevations. Like Tornado Alley, there's also Hail Alley that occurs in parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, and Colorado, averaging 7 to 9 hail days per severe weather season. During a severe weather event, we compare the size of hail to everyday objects. Pea-size hail is the most common, but the larger hail gets, the more dangerous it can be. For example, a hailstone that is 2.75 inches in diameter is comparable to the size of a baseball. Baseball-size hail can fall in excess of 100 miles per hour.
For a hailstone to be classified as severe, it has to be an inch in diameter. That's about the width of a quarter. The world record-breaking hailstone fell in Vivian, South Dakota in 2010. That measured 8 inches in diameter. That's about the width of a volleyball. Closer to home, the largest hailstone to fall in Michigan fell on the same day in 1978 in Macomb and Livingston County, measuring 4.5 inches in diameter. Think of that as the size of this grapefruit.
During a hailstorm, you must get inside and stay away from windows because hail can be blown sideways. Hail is rarely deadly, but it does cause 24 injuries per year across the United States. Wishing you a safe, severe weather season, I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy.
Now, your ABC 12 First Alert HD forecast.
It all depends where you are. You're either seeing this or you're seeing nothing at all the further north you head across mid-Michigan. I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy. Today is a tricky Thursday. We're already seeing some light accumulations along the grass, just some slushy accumulations on the roads where we're right on the line of a rain-snow mix. But here's what's happening. We have a strong low-pressure system down to the south of us. Typically, 100 miles north of a low-pressure system center, that's where you see the heaviest snow, for this time of the year at least. 100 miles north, you have this band of very heavy snow in Livingston and Oakland County, the only counties that are under a winter storm warning. The reason why, down near Ann Arbor, you're looking at rain rates over an inch per hour. This area of blue, I have your precipitation rate right here. Right now we're rocking a 1 to 5 ratio, meaning 1 inch of rain will translate over to 5 inches of snow. snow. That means that we have snow rates right now around Hamburg at 2.5 to 3 inches per hour. Now, a lot of this is melting as it hits the ground because we had 2 days in a row of record-breaking warm temperatures. Here's what's happened over the last 3 hours. That snow is growing. Temperatures right now in the lower to the mid 30s, so we're around that freezing point, but you can still support snow in the mid to the upper 30s. My cause of concern for the forecast, most of the heavy snow will be south of I-69. More of this snow will work its way off towards the east, but the action is down 23, down 75, heading towards Detroit. So that's why, again, we have the winter weather advisory for all of us up to Saginaw, just south of Huron County, but Livingston and Oakland County, that's the bullseye. That's where we're seeing the heaviest snow totals. So if you're heading down there at any time of today, well, it's not going to be a good situation because that snow is actively accumulating now, and it will soon start accumulating on the roads. So here's that low pressure system. As you can see, that 100-mile north, that bullseye, that's where we're seeing most of this snow. It'll continue to push its way off towards the east. But you notice, north of the Saginaw Bay, half our viewing area not seeing all that much action. Here's the clock, 5 o'clock. That is where we're expecting about 2 to 4 inches in this area. I would say around the I-69 corridor down to the south, barely anything north of the Saginaw Bay up into the thumb. This will eventually start to drift up into the thumb as we work our way through the afternoon, but it's really going to be an interesting setup. So right now our snow totals, we have less than an inch north of the Saginaw Bay. If we do pick up some more light accumulations, about 1 to 3 through the Tri-Cities up into the thumb, but Flint, you're still under the gun for that 3 to 6 inches plus, possible 5 to 9 inches through Livingston and Oakland County, where the centralized area of the heavier snow will remain there most of the afternoon. So for the rest of today, expect snow. The further north you go, you might be thinking, what's going on? I haven't seen anything. It's going to be a waiting game, but really the rule of thumb, the more south you go, the more snow you will see, and barely anything north of the Saginaw Bay. Temperatures will eventually drop down below freezing heading into the evening, and then we're down into the mid to the upper 20s. So any precipitation we do see, that's going to freeze over. It'll feel like the teens with winds picking up about 10 to 15 miles per hour, still gusting over 20 to 25 miles per hour. And through your Friday, luckily we're melting away a lot of the snow that we are going to see. It's a chilly atmosphere. Clouds will decrease, highs in the upper 30s. And after that, we have a gorgeous weekend to melt the rest of that snow. High temperatures either side of 40 degrees on Saturday, mostly sunny still to end the weekend in the lower 40s. And then we're rocking the 40s for the first 2 days of next week. Rain snow mix Monday into Tuesday before temperatures fall again middle of next week.